Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. This week we are working on my mid-range Amulet Dinos deck. Similar to Amulet Titan, we are looking to use Urza's Sagas, or Amulet of Vigors, to untap bounce lands. Oh man, so many lands. Untap bounce lands and abuse all the extra mana by playing dinosaurs, though, instead of Primeval Titans. And we use Urza Saga to tutor up an Amulet of Vigor. So I had a really fun time playing my Amulet Dinos deck that went really big with Maven and Galta. But I wanted to try out a deck that had a little bit more of a mid-range game and wasn't all in on the big fatties, and also really wanted to try out Galta Primal Hunger, so I put 4 copies of that in there. I put Regisaur Alpha. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong, but so let's think about this for a second. Next turn, we're going to go get an Amulet of Vigor. We don't have a finisher yet, but we can play this Wayward Swordtooth into this Grazer if we really want. I think we'll just play the Mycosynth Gardens, set us up for a big turn in the future. So what we're looking for is to abuse our 3-drop dinosaurs that are overpowered, like Wayward Swordtooth and Pugnacious Hammerskull, to Beseju. Very nice. Let's see, what do we want? To abuse the abuse their overpowered nature, not just for attacking our opponent, but to ramping into a Galta Primal Hunger. And we're picking a more mid-range strategy for this very reason. So our opponent answers our Amulet of Vigor, whatever way you want to call it, and we are left just sort of clunking it with some clunky hands with big fat 7-drops. Instead, we have a bunch of 3-drops and some 5-drops that ramp us into Galta without needing to abuse the bounce lands. We just need to draw the Galta, or something else. Pugnacious Hammerskull would be good. Alright, so Regisaur Alpha is one of our combo pieces as far as giving Galta, casting and getting Galta down the same turn and giving it haste to swing for a lot out of nowhere. So what we can do, I think, this turn is put in... We're not going to be able to abuse this bounce land the way we had hoped. So we start the recording. Play the Wayward Swordtooth. Probably should have done, well, we'll see. Maybe should have tapped differently, played the Yawgmoth one. We're going to take 2, play the Grazer. And now we can put in this bounce land if we really want to get it head on mana. Or we can save it for a later turn. And we will return probably this Mycosynth Gardens to our hand. Don't have any more land drops. Pass the turn. Alright, so that's a pretty good turn 3. It's not an Amulet Titan, but we're not playing Amulet Titan. We're playing Amulet Dinos. So do we die to Yawgmoth? We'll find out. Reason not to play that bounce. Well, we're going to be able to make 2 land drops, so we should be able to get up to City's Blessing if everything goes correctly. There's the Yawgmoth. Do they have the other combo piece? Just gonna swing in. I think we might just take it. We really don't want to lose this grazer because we want the city's blessing. So just to be extra careful that we don't tempt our opponent just to drain or sacrifice some of the creatures that kill our grazer. We're going to keep it. Are we going to be fast enough? Urza Saga is good for later. So we can make our 2 land drops. We can do a Kessig Wolf run, but not for much. And they have this Yawgmoth they can use to put counters on to refill their hand. So I mean, yeah, the Yawgmoth deck is tough. We'll play the Urza Saga. Play the Kessig Wolf run. We're not going to be able to give anything trample. Right, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So we can get in a hit, assuming we'll see what our opponent does, but assuming they'll block there, yeah, and then maybe sack something to make sure to kill it. Or maybe they don't even bother sacking. Yeah, Galta would have been our best draw there. We could have gotten out a hasty Galta this turn with these 2 green mana. So that's the whole vision of the deck. I mean, we have this mid-range game that can pressure our opponent and just play a bunch of big fatties. But a Galta off the top instead of, what did we draw, an Urza Saga, would have given us a 12-12 hasty as well. So we would have been attacking for 20 on turn 4, 12 of which, 15 of which was trample. See if our opponent can't handle what we're doing and refill their hand to find their next. Or they probably have like a Quarter Calling. They usually do, their last card or whatever. Alright, Wall of Roots, good. Alright, that's one of their combo pieces. So they get to put, whenever you put one more -1/-1 counters on a creature, you get a green snake creature token. So they're going to, we could probably just F6 here. Let them, they're going to shrink our Regisaur Alpha, which will take away one of our big combo pieces, make a bunch of snakes, draw a bunch of cards. And they can do this to wipe our board if they wanted. I mean, they would. They do have a life total they're working with here, so they can't. They might wait till next turn, but this is the combo that they can just keep sacking the snake that they make. And they can even, I mean, instant speed to the Yawgmoth to kill any kind of creature we're attacking with, yep. So, I mean, this game is essentially over. We don't have any interaction with what they're doing, but we'll see what we draw. Oh man, it's early over here in Virginia, just drinking some coffee. And then I scooped after I said we were going to see what we're going to draw. I mean, the Yawgmoth, I mean, it's just inevitable. They have such a huge void state. No matter what we cast, they're going to be able to kill it. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping to race Yawgmoth, so this is why we're testing the deck. Are we able to race something like a Yawgmoth? So we have the Pithy Needle and the Shadow Spear. Bring those in. Tormod's Crypt is good to shut down the Yawgmoth triggers, but as we saw there, they didn't even need a Yawgmoth to go over the top. If that's the right phrase. They didn't need the Yawgmoth just to kill us. Bowmasters makes Belligerent Yearling. Well, no, it's a 3-2, so that's good. What do we want to go down? I mean, this Firstborn is some of our only main deck removal to answer a Yawgmoth. It's either Grazer or Explorer that we want to go down, and I think normally I cut the Explorers or maybe a single land. But at 26 lands, I think we might want them all. Alright, so we're going to be really relying heavily on our Pithy Needle plan. And we have it in our opening hand, so we do not have anything else though. We don't want to just run it out there to get so that it gets blown up. Now we don't have anything till turn 3, and that's a Hammer Skull, which is a 6/6, and that's great. This is our best card against what they're doing, but we already saw Boseiju, and they probably bring in something else to answer artifacts since they know we're an Amulet Vigor deck. I think we're going to mulligan. That's an even worse hand. But it does have a lot of power with this Galta in our hand, so we'll keep and hope to draw some lands, and we're going to put Hammer Skull to the bottom and have to restart our recording once I play this Cavern of Souls. Okay, well, we'll see what our opponent gets up to. We really need to hit, ideally, an untapped land or an Amulet of Vigor. Amulet of Vigor would be our best draw, of course, because then we could cast it, play the Gruul Turf, get the Belligerent Yearling down. Man, we really need to make lands. Alright, 26 lands. Let's see if we can get lucky. Play the Gruul Turf. Our opponent's got to be just salivating over there at how slow we are. I mean, we didn't get a land for this Wayward Swordtooth. It's Quinith, Firstborn of Gishath, gives us some answer to Galta, or sorry, to Yawgmoth if we can stick it with the mana open. But our opponent's already set up for a huge turn next turn, while we're just dirtling along. Turn 3, Pugnacious Hammer Skull. Do we hit a land? Alright, so we hit a land. So that will let us play. So what we can do here, you need 4 mana to cast this and have it deal another dinosaur deal damage equal to its power to another target creature. So there's a big problem with that though, because Yawgmoth, of course, will shrink whatever creature we target. So we can go ahead and do the Yearling, but do we want to go, what's our best angle? Yearling this turn or Swordtooth this turn? And hope to draw a land. I think we just want to get some. I think we want to just try to catch back up on, get ahead on mana a little bit. This is our turn 3, right? We haven't really done anything till now, and our opponent's setting up for finding a Yawgmoth. And we have no answer. We have a nice little mid-range start had we not had to take a turn off to play a bounce land. We could have gone Belligerent Yearling into Swordtooth, hit for 5. There's the Yawgmoth. Land would be nice. Alright. Is there a way? So we can cast this, have it fight the Yawgmoth. They only need to sacrifice 2 creatures to get it to shrink down enough that we lose our Wayward Swordtooth, and then we lose our whole plan of... I mean, I just think we're probably going to be dead to this Yawgmoth one way or the other. So we need the double green. So if we go Pugnacious Hammerskull, we really want to take a turn to set up this Belligerent Yearling and then this it's Quinith or whatever. Still sick. No, I mean just bad congestion. So what are we going? I mean, we're just in a tough spot right now. Because the Yawgmoth, we don't have an answer. So we go up to here, we have 8, that costs 4. Well, let's just go as big as possible because that's our only out right now. Alright, well that's turn 4, 12, 12 with a 5, 5 and a 6, 6. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. I mean, we can swing in for 18 next turn. We could have done some sort of combo to try to kill the Yawgmoth, but maybe we should have tried it just to see, force our opponent's hand. But this is going to also hopefully force our opponent's hand to do something, force our opponent to do something they don't want to. Bowmasters, sure. Being able to, I mean, the Yawgmoth's so powerful, being able to shrink things, not just do 1 damage. So we could have taken the turn, like I was saying, to cast the Quinth, and then cast the Pugnacious Hammerskull to try to kill the Yawgmoth, but they would have then shrunk down their Wall of Roots and our Undying, our Yawgmoth to have the Wayward Swordtooth or Pugnacious Hammerskull or whatever small enough that it wouldn't have killed the Yawgmoth, which would have left us sad and with a very small dinosaur. And granted, they're probably still going to go do that to some extent in the Court of Calling, of course. Have it all, Mr. Opponent. Yawgmoth always seems to. I mean, look at this, like, it's essentially a pile of garbage. Don't look over here. These are great cards. But, you know, you have a bunch of, like, combo synergistic pieces that are so bad on their own. But they play so many tutor effects, and they have ways to draw with the Yawgmoth that they almost always have what they need. The biggest, yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a slow, painful turn for us, but the times I've seen Yawgmoth stumble the most is they just can't find their Yawgmoth, but they have so many ways to find it. So it seems like it's a very consistent deck, which is one of the reasons why it's at the top of Modern right now. And I love Blood Artist type deck, so I don't know why I don't try to play this deck. This is the exact kind of deck that Aristocrat style deck was the deck that I really enjoyed playing for the first time when I got back into Magic. And the game had changed so drastically since the 90s. And they, see, now I think we are dead. So they can keep sacrificing this Yawgmoth. It's going to keep coming back, and we're going to be drained with the Blood Artist. So yeah. Anyway, the Aristocrat style deck was one of my favorite decks, one of the first decks I played with any success when I got back into Magic, and it's such a fun archetype that I should probably try a Yawgmoth. Anyway, this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. I give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction / fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podkind. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.